building over there is an abandoned Shari restaurant on North River and AVE Avenue in Hillsboro, Oregon. This time we'll be exploring inside. So let's go for it. Shari again. For some reason, this only sign was taken down before the shutdown happened. We're approaching the main entrance. Ta-da, we're officially inside an abandoned Shari's. This is the recipe we're seeing right now. There likely would have been hotel flyers and ads on the wooden countertop. We're getting into the lobby. Here we are. The building is in good shape. The seating over here are where customers used to sit and wait to be called for an available table. Same thing for the other one. Got all the lights on, which is good. Ooh, there are a few papers on the register. Let's take a look at them. We have an area view at Hillsboro. Oh yeah, I remember seeing a video of this building on a commercial real estate website. I find it strange that there are no available signs on some of the windows, even though the former restaurant space is available. You can see the hexagonal building color in red. There are more details about this place and the shopping center as well. Very cool. Anyway, here's what the dining area looks like. It's always the same setup just like another former Shari restaurants. I want to say this building was built in between 1990 and 1991, according to historic aerials. The restaurant got renovated most likely in the late 90s or so. Again, they did for the second time in the early 2010s. Chairs have been placed up and down on tables. The wooden paneling definitely looks classic. Over here, this is the person station in the middle dining area. Pretty basic layout. Let's see if this thing still works. Of course it does. Wonder who's paying the water. Aside from that, this location ended up closing in October 2024 after being in operation for 33 or 34 years. We're entering the solarium section. I always find those setups really cool and interesting. I'm not sure if there are people from both sides. There's some information about this particular chair. Cool. Oh, by the way, there was a crazy incident here back in 2021. It was in the morning at around 9:15 a.m. A strong odor was reported inside the Shari's restaurant, sending about 25 or 26 people coughing, dizzy, and with burning sensations. Everyone evacuated safely, and there was no fire. Firefighters in their TVA and our hazmat team investigated, focusing on the building and roof. They traced a portable source to a rooftop HVAC unit. In total, 26 people were medically assessed, with 7 transported to local hospitals. No life-threatening injuries were reported, thankfully. Authorities continue working with HVAC experts to determine the exact cause. 42 emergency responders, including 8 ambulances, assisted at the scene. As a matter of fact, I do actually remember hearing this news at the time. The PA system seems to be working. That's crazy. This is the service passageway. Here's an access to the kitchen, which we're about to explore soon. Got the exit door. The exit sign is lit up well. Let's keep on moving. Looks like those counters haven't been updated in a long time. Got the soda fountain left behind as well. Makes you wonder if there's any liquid inside. Aside from that, I'm not sure it is related to a building, but there was a girl I used to like back in high school in Salem, and she used to live around this area. This monitor doesn't seem to work, I see. Anyway, it's quite possible that the girl and her family used to eat here a few times before the restaurant closed. So you might be wondering how the girl got from here to my old school in Salem. Basically, my old school had a dorm, and she would take the school bus back and forth every Friday and Sunday. With paid price to go. Nah, that's not true. They were mostly prepackaged back then. Here we have the other old pie display case at the front. By the way, this is my second time inside a freaking Shari's. The first time I came here was back in November 2024, when there were still a lot of things left behind in some areas in the kitchen. I did some recordings inside, but I didn't edit the video because I had a backlog of other footages. When June came, I returned to see if anything inside had changed. I was right, most of the items in the kitchen and other areas are long gone now. That's why I am back, starting over again to film everything as an update. You see, I prefer for my restaurants and stores to be completely cleared out, except for that liminal space pipe, you know. I think there's a homeless guy sitting in the rocks. Here's another buzzing station. That kinda looks rough to me. What a shame. We're gonna check this closet. Got the answer machines on top. I remember there used to be some stuff inside the first time I came here. It feels like yesterday to me. We're gonna check those bathrooms. This is the women's room. Here's your one sink. The orange counter looks very nice. Got the paper towel dispenser here. Here's the toilet. Oh wow, he has the toilet lid. Wasn't expecting to see that. Got another toilet that doesn't have a lid. Strange. No toilet paper at all. This is the baby changing station. We're done with the bathroom. Let's get out. Head into the men's room. Got the men's sign, including restrooms for customer use only. There's a camera in the bathroom hallway. That's weird. We're in the men's room now. There's a sink. The soap dispenser is missing. Got a urinal over here. Here's the toilet. Still no toilet paper. No surprise. So far so clean. Again, the baby changing station on the wall. I'm assuming the paper towel dispenser doesn't work anymore. We're done with this bathroom. I noted the glass panes with Shari's logos on both sides of the registers have been removed. I have seen that happen at other former Shari's locations. There's a bucket in the floor. Not sure why he's standing. Got some rock salt in the bucket. I'm assuming it's for the parking lot and sidewalk when the weather gets so really chilly. I like those kinds of light fixtures. They look like spaceships to me, don't you agree? Here we have a large booth on the right. Possibly 8 to 10 people could fit in there. Get a painting frame on the wall. This table is quite dirty. Same thing in parts of the seating. There were a few papers in the wall related to working a lot of his stuff. There had to be a sign that said no minors were allowed to be in this area. This was the former gambling service area. They had like 6 slot machines in here. Those windows are no longer transparent. I heard Shari her Oregon lottery over $100,000 in debt, which is crazy and not surprising. Before this gambling service existed, this was the former additional dining area. I believe Shari partnered with Oregon Lottery sometimes in the early 2000s. Interesting to see several students around here. Shari also sold alcohol stuff. Here's another exit door. I'm guessing there was a slot machine in the corner next to the exit door. We're gonna check the closet. The light was flickering, which is not good. My phone flashlight is better, at least. Here we have the ladder that goes up to the attic and roof. I would love to go up to the roof, but I don't have time for it. Just mostly nothing inside so far. Get into the kitchen. Here we are. Some of the commercial ovens are still here, and I bet they're worth several $1,000s. This section used to be the bakery department, where bakers made pies back then. There had to be a dough mixer and a counter at one point, but it was a lot of work. Here's the ice machine. I wonder if they still work properly or not. They're so big. The dishwashing station used to be on the left side. We're gonna check the freezer room. See what it looks like. I remember struggling to open this door back then, and that's when I noticed icicles hanging from the bottom. Oh wow, there's Shari's Larry's box on top of the shelves. I don't know if there are actual pies inside. Over here, I remember there used to be full of kitchenware on some racks. The metal wall seems pretty beat up. I'm not sure whether the kitchenware was reused or just thrown away. There is a to-go plastic cup on the metal counter. Weird. I'm so glad most of the things in the kitchen have been cleared out because everything used to be a little of a mess. We're gonna check out the freezer room. More empty shelves as well. Gosh, I remember there were literally a lot of food ingredients in the freezer room. I even saw a few avocados were rotten very badly too. I think the freezer was smelling horrible at the same time. There wasn't okay, obviously. We're done with this. Over here, these were cooks used to make breakfast, lunch, and dinner many times throughout the years. Sometimes the food was good, sometimes it wasn't. This kitchen food indoor is dirty. Still got a few monitors on the wall. Man, this kitchen is so small. It's just so weird how Oregon doesn't have any remaining Shari restaurants anymore. The company is still around, but they can only be found in Washington, Idaho, and California. This is the employees' break area. I don't know if there were boats here at one point. Here's a night view of the shopping plaza. This is your manager's office. Wow, there are a lot of irons turning around. By the way, when Shari was facing problems, everybody used to comment that he used to work there and felt the company had it coming. He explained that salary managers were treated very poorly. They regularly work 55-hour weeks, including mandatory weekends and holidays, with shifts sometimes lasting up to 11 hours. He added that isn't that a manager calling in sick, you can end up stuck at work for 24 hours straight. Bonuses, the only thing making the job somewhat worthwhile, were often taken away, costing employees thousands. Training and food quality were also cut, with the money funneled to the top, just like many other corporations. There's a safe box down here. Anyway, this kind of greed and disregard for workers is exactly why the company eventually crumbled. See, the Reddit user was right. It's no wonder the old Shari CEO and his executive team stopped caring about their employees. We're heading to the judge's storage room. Also, someone else in Reddit commented that she used to work at Shari for 6 years and left in 2018 as a surveyor and trainer. Management positions were offered, but she refused after seeing how poorly corporate treated managers and often forgot to pay us her raises for training. There are few sort of boxes on the shelves. Anyway, she noticed problems back in 2017 and 2018 when ownership changes and surveys were made to act as their own bank, covering cash flow mistakes instead of the restaurant. Management was never supported, which trickled down to the front of the house and back of the house staff. Once they stopped caring, no one did. She said the HR were completely ignorant. Complaints about managers showing inappropriate photos instead of led to no consequences, only for good shifts being reassigned. She wasn't sure that they were failing, it was on them. We're checking the water heater closet. It already used to comment that when she used to work there in college sometimes in 2014, employees always showing regularly car if they didn't meet the pie chart quotas. She said it was surprisingly stressful for what was supposed to be a temporary job. Man, I seriously feel bad for all the former Shari employees who had to endure this nightmare from management for years before the shutdown. They didn't deserve to be mistreated. Unfortunately, working at a well-known company can be stressful since not all the people in the upper management are friendly. I remember applying for a dishwasher position on my old local Shari once, but they never called me for an interview. Thank goodness I didn't get a job, especially since they were having problems. This room over here is the old kitchen unit of the closet. Got some cleaning chemical dispenser on the wall. Got empty shelves as well. Not sure what this black thing on the wall is. Anyway, if anyone has memories here before the shutdown, please share them in the comment section. Otherwise, thank you so much. Here we have an exit door. I really like the green color. But right before we head out, I'm about to turn all the lights off. Perfect. So we're being in the darkness. Man, I miss Shari sometimes. I'll never forget about them. We're heading to the exit door. And that'll be it. There are skin for the video. Make sure to like, comment, and share. Thanks for watching. And until next time, see you on the other side.